Oh, I'm mad, y'all. I'm angry. I'm furious. I'm mad at myself and I'm mad at you people. All right? Because I didn't realize the 5-star quality of so many Mighty Thor covers of the 1970s. I didn't know. All right? But my eyes are open. All right? I've been enlightened. All right? So we're going to explore that tonight. This is the Pop Culture Cosmonaut. You better like. You better comment and you better subscribe or I'll come down on you like the hammer of Thor and may you be struck down by lightning. Yeah, little product placement by the way. This is number 15 on the list and this is Mighty Thor 276 and this cover came out in July of 1978. This is the work of John Buscema, Joe Sinnott, and the immortal Gaspar Saladino. Those are names that have come up on the Pop Culture Cosmonaut numerous times. All right, and this is Thor versus Thor. Excuse me? Excuse me? And you see the quote here, Mjolnir is mine, the Lady Sif is mine. Can there be any doubt Thor is dead? Long live the new original Thor. What is happening on this cover? All right. And here you look at the incredible background and the detail there. The Warriors 3 in the background as well. And this man that you see next to Volstagg, okay, he's a reporter. All right. And who is the new original Thor? Well, he's a cameraman. All right, that due to some Loki trickery became the new original Thor, kind of the Temu Thor, I guess. All right, the bootleg Thor, the off-brand Thor. All right, but he's a pretty interesting character. And by the way, the interior of this issue is by the incredible team of John Buscema and Tom Palmer, and this is in 1978. They had an incredible run on Avengers during the 80s. This is the art inside is equal to that. All right. But this cover contains a lot of drama. You see Thor in the front here, the foreground, broken down, beaten. He's bleeding. He's got scratches all over his body. All right. And this looks pretty serious. All right. And in this issue, it's interesting. You see at the end, or near the end, there's a part where he speaks to Sif, where she gives up and he says, "You did right, baby. I'm gonna treat you good, real good. Pretty soon you'll forget all about your old boyfriend." He's got the talk down, but you gotta treat him right. She's a lady, you know. Treat him right. Shout out to Chub Rock, by the way, underrated MC, that's for sure. All right, we're gonna move on. We're gonna look at the next one on the list. This is number 14. This is Mighty Thor 258. All right, and this great piece of work. Everything on this list is great, by the way. This is actually Jack Kirby and Mike Royer, or Royer. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. But either way, this is from January in 1977. And on this cover, you see Thor is facing off against the Grey Gargoyle. All right. And they're on a ship in the cosmos sailing towards Asgard. So this isn't space. This is a different realm altogether. But I just love this idea, even. This wooden ship sailing through a cosmic realm. And the Grey Gargoyle, pretty unique villain, stepping up, trying to take it to the Thunder God. And he's French, so I'm going to try a French accent for this. Surrender, Asgardian, or I will crush your woman into rubble. You haven't a chance against the power of the Grey Gargoyle. One thing I will say, though, this cover is a bit word bubbly, if you know what we've been discussing sometimes in these videos. And this probably is why it's a bit lower on the list. But I love the imagery. I love the gray gargoyle lifting a frozen Lady Sif over his head, to the consternation of Thor, saying, "Nay, monster, I shall defy the touch of stone, or perish like a warrior born." All right, it's dramatic stuff right here. And look at the bottom, it's the Warriors 3. All right, so we see Fandral, the dashing, okay, Volstagg, the voluminous, and Hogun, the grim. All right, so these heroes you'll see quite often on these covers. They were often by Thor's side in battle. All right, let's proceed. Okay, so the next one on our list, this is number 13. This is Mighty Thor 277. We're getting into 5-star territory, baby. Already. All right, and take a look at this one. It's Thor up against the Hordes of Hela. And this cover came out in August of 78. It's the unmistakable work of John Buscema, but Bob McLeod was on the inks this time around. And the Hordes of Hela, it's the United Colors of Benetton. It's very diverse. It's a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Coming at Thor, and Thor says, "Alone I stand without my hammer against the Hordes of Hela. And if I fail, the day of doom is upon us." All right, and look at Hela there pointing at Thor. Kill Thor and Asgard falls. This is an incredible piece of work. And the fact that it's not higher on the list speaks to the pending quality that I call 5-star stuff. That's for damn sure. This cover reminds me a lot. And I'm sure that later on in the 80s, the Mighty Thor 383, this cover probably had to have been an homage, right? This is Ron Frenz and Brett Breeding. I've covered this one in my Kang the Conqueror covers, as well as my Wrecking Crew one. So, and look at Dr. Doom on the cover there. But anyways, this cover here, it reminds me of an old school beat 'em up game. All right, and this one being the more traditional, fantastical enemies, reminds me a bit of Golden Axe. Y'all remember that game? Some terrible cover art though. Look at this. Awful stuff. All right, but the game, good memories of that one. All right, we got to move on though. We ain't got time for all that, man. And this is number 12 on my list. This is Thor 220. And on this one, he is in the grips of a giant. Here, and you see in the bottom left corner, the sinister secret of Avalon, the keeper of the inner cosmos. Excuse me? Damn, that sounds like a big deal, to put it mildly. And by the way, this piece of work was done by Gil Kane and Mike Esposito in October of 73. And I've called this out before, but as soon as you see up the nostrils of somebody prominent on the cover in the 1970s, you could probably guess Gil Kane was involved. But anyways, it makes for some pretty dramatic facial expressions, and this is no exception. Avalon is a caretaker, servant of the masters of the Black Stars, and these people, these masters of the Black Stars, are led by one by the name of Kragon. I hope I'm saying his name right. And they were giant people. Anyways, this man, this giant himself, Avalon, looking like he could crush Thor. And I love this background and the use of black as well. And the purple, almost, I don't know how to describe it. We've called the Kirby crackle before. I don't know if I'd describe it in that way here, but this would definitely grab your attention immediately off the rack, I think. Pretty serious stuff. I think. So let's, but we got to move on to the next one on the list. This is number 11. This is Mighty Thor 291. This one came out in October of 79, so this is pretty late in the decade. It's the work of Keith Pollard, Bob Layton, and Irv Watanabe. This one came out with a surprise, I'm sure, to many people's eyes, seeing Odin and Zeus side by side against the Eternals and Thor. And you never see Odin and Zeus together. This is kind of like in Cobra Kai, bringing Daniel and Johnny together. Well, one of the later seasons anyways. That's a pretty current reference for this channel. Yeah, but this cover, epic, is an understatement, I think. Everything about this cover screams quality that you gotta read on the inside. And again, I'm somebody that, to be honest, didn't care much for gods, mystic stuff, magic stuff, supernatural stuff. I liked my superheroing in a certain way. All right, Thor didn't fit the bill. So, seeing this and being able to look at these covers and say, hot diggity damn, that's some good art right there to really grab your imagination in a chokehold. And I think this cover definitely does that. Great stuff, man. Yeah, but we gotta move on to number 10 on the list. And this is Mighty Thor 245. And this unique cover here features a very different looking foe, right? And it says the God of Thunder versus the Servitor while the universe crumbles. And at the bottom again, wow, the temple at the end of time. Okay, I mean, these covers were just going for broke, man. And this was John Buscema once again and Joe Sinnott. Their names are going to reappear often. This cover was in December of 75, smack dab in the middle of the decade. And I love this cover. Servitor himself, I mean, this character is so eye-catching, I find. This giant robotic foe with a Roman centurion armor and aesthetic. He looks like the final boss in a video game. And Thor has his hands full as he leaps into action against Servitor. And Servitor is, his master is the Tomorrow Man, also known as Zarko. The Tomorrow Man, I always loved that name. Sounds like something my wife might call me, though, when I take the garbage out the next day and say, I'll do it tomorrow. I don't need to do it right now. Oh, the Tomorrow Man. So for procrastinators everywhere, we can relate. Yeah, but Servitor versus Thor. This looks, and again, not just the image itself, but the good use of text on this as well. There's no word bubbles. There doesn't need to be. I think everything is being said right here. This is beautiful stuff. The color contrasts work perfectly as well. Unbelievable work. Yes, we're gonna move on to number 9. All right, this is Mighty Thor 182 featuring Dr. Doom. All right, saying here to Dr. Donald Blake, alter ego of Thor, now that you have seen me without my mask, you cannot leave here alive. As you see him removing his mask, swiping his mask from his face, all right, in the foreground, and Thor's persona shrinking into the frail, fragile, meek Dr. Blake, the prisoner, the power, and Dr. Doom. This is the composition of this cover is 5-star immediately, even if it wasn't featuring Dr. Doom. And this is one of the better depictions of Doom that I've seen as well. Just being able to remove his mask that way, to not show his face to us, but have the reaction of Blake be as it is. That tells you something about the mystique of Doom. This is fantastic work. John Buscema, Joe Sinnott. These two, man, you know, you're going to be hearing me call those names a lot. All right, like Stockton to Malone. All right. Anyways. Yes. All right, we're going to move on to the next one here. This is the 8th on the list, the Mighty Thor 186. All right. Incredible piece of work here as Thor is defeated by the goddess of death. And Hela, saying here, Hela, do not cast thy spell. Thor must not perish now, for if I fall, then who will stop the murder of the universe by the world beyond? As he fades away, aging and losing his body. Hela at the top, the time has come to die. Now, one thing I will say, this cover deserved to be higher if not for the excessive word bubbles. This cover didn't need them at all. I think if it had just had defeated by the goddess of death and left all the dialogue alone, even at the bottom left, I think that was unnecessary as well. If all of those other pieces of text were gone, this would have gone higher on my list. I might even still give it a 5 stars just because it's so compelling as an image. And the background, the colors, the inking, the shading, the story being told in one image. It didn't need the word bubbles, damn it. All right. Yeah. But we gotta go on to our next one. On the list, this is number 7. And this is 187, man, of Mighty Thor. It's father versus son as Odin goes mad. And yeah, you see here Odin blasting Thor in the cosmic realm, and the world is lost. Okay? And you know, to me, the two parts of this cover are offering two very different treats. The father versus son fight here, the way Odin looks like he's stepping out of the shadows to put his son down, and Thor is taking it full brunt. But what I really love about this cover isn't that, it's the world below. Look at the earth, look at the despair on the people's faces as they try to escape this apocalyptic disaster. The yellow water, rivers of urine. I certainly hope not, but I don't know. Either way, like, it's beautifully drawn. I don't know if they lost their blue ink on that day, but maybe that's part of the apocalyptic vision. This looks like an epic issue. This looks like something you shouldn't miss. Once again, this is John Buscema and Marie Severin working with him this time. There's no word bubbles on this. I think the text is tasteful enough. Maybe some of it was unnecessary, but I don't think it ruins anything on this cover. And I really love the bottom part here, showing what's happening to the world here. Great stuff, man. I love it. All right, we gotta go on to the next one on the list. This is number 6, and it's Mighty Thor 211. And this busy cover contains some good stuff, man. This is Ulik, I believe. I hope that I'm saying that right, not Ulik, which would be a pretty bad name to have going to high school in North America. Ulik. But Ulik, as I'll say, invades the surface world, and he and his troll armies coming from the underground, and you see the earth itself coming out from under his tanks and his hordes of troops here with him, and he says, "Stay away, Thunder God, or else you perish with all mankind. Away, I command you." And Thor here saying, "And I say thee nay. If earth must die, let Thor die too." as he fights back, trying to hold up this crumbling ground, which threatens to crush these mortals, these humans below. To me, again, there's two really interesting parts to this cover. The armies of Ulik and the smoke rising from where they have come, which is probably, you see right here at the middle of a city, all right? And they look already triumphant, okay? And then below, the humans fleeing or reacting in terror as Thor heroically tries to allow them passage to escape. This is fantastic stuff. Yeah, man, you gotta love it. The quality of everything in this video is mind-blowing to yours truly. And yeah, we gotta go on to number 5 on the list. This is Mighty Thor 200. I don't care about the number 200. I don't award points for that on my lists on this channel. But this one in particular, I just couldn't hold it back. It kept rising up. The end of the world. Thor versus Loki on this crumbling bridge. Okay? The specter of Ragnarok on the horizon, and the Midgard serpent looming above. He's got a little hand though. What kind of serpent's got a hand? Yeah, well, this crumbling bridge that you see, and this dramatic face-off between these two is reason enough to put it high. And even look at the motion of Thor's hammer swinging around in a circle. He in particular, his footing is falling. He can fly, of course, but you can see he's in a bit of a troublesome situation. Loki looks like he's pressing his advantage. Okay, the flaming parts below, and look at the battles going on between these soldiers. That's great work, and to me that's really what puts this cover over the edge. Another thing that I must point out is that during this era, and this is March of 1972, by the way, 71, 72, I think in that era, Marvel was using a lot of these bordered covers, all right, kind of gave it a novel type of look. But I love it. I think it works beautifully with a lot of compositions. This one's no different. If this one didn't have the red, for example, if it was just the all blue behind, and that was it, and there was nothing else behind it, I don't think I would give it the same score that I do, but I really think that the red border around this one makes a great frame for what we see inside. This is fantastic work, Jack. And this is John Buscema. He's all over this list. He was already probably my favorite artist just because of his work on Avengers and all the other stuff that he's done over the years. But his prolificness, is that the word, on Thor has really put it over the edge and cemented it. This is great work, man. All right, we got to go on to number 4. All right, and this is Thor 201. Okay, so this is right after the issue we just looked at, which was 200. This is 201. This is the next issue featuring Pluto. And here you can see him saying, "I am Pluto. I am power. And if Odin's life be not mine for the taking, then I'll have Thor's instead." And at the bottom, we see this saying, "To live again, to die forever." This is a great piece of work, and this is by Gil Kane and the hated but never duplicated Vince Colletta. Don't hate on the man, all right? Yeah, but this cover, Thor just getting held backwards. Pluto got the chokehold on him. Pluto, also known as Hades, all right? And this Olympian villain, he's got the talk for Thor. He's got the drop on Thor. He's got the axe ready, and on his face, that's to me what really puts this cover over the edge for me. It's Pluto's face. He looks like he's been living for this moment. All he needs to do is descend his axe onto the face of Thor, and it will all be over, and he will be victorious. All right. This cover captures all that drama beautifully. And of course, you'll notice, just like in the last issue, this cover also features the frame look, okay, the black frame around the edge of this scene, of this battle, where you see the armies of Pluto and Asgard doing battle in the background. They're kind of colored, I wouldn't say lazily, but you know, we're not really seeing them too vividly, but I think that's all right because it really makes the drama pop between Pluto. I almost called him Bluto from Popeye. Damn, I didn't mean to do that. By the way, Pluto, the planet, I think they declassified it. It's like a planetoid or something now. Bring it back as a planet, man. Why are you hating on Pluto? I always wanted Pluto back. We should fight for that. Well, this is my version of that. Anyways, yeah, we got to move on, Jack. All right, and where are we in the list? We're number 3 here. This has been a strong list. Strong! All right, and this is 202. Are you kidding me? We've got 3 in a row here, from 200, 201 to 202. That's coincidental. That was not by design, I promise you. But look at the variety of covers from month to month. I think that's pretty dope in its own right. And this is May of 72. John Buscema, Vince Coletta. He don't care what you say about him. And Marie Severin. Yeah, her name's popped up a few times here and there as well in some classic covers of the early 70s. This is Ego Prime versus the Earth. All right, and look here, it's Thor flying over this destroyed building, and all these people, these mortals, fleeing in fear. The crumbling building there. And Sif, once again, damsel in distress, getting grabbed up by something. And Ego Prime with Hogan the Grim caught up in his hair. But Ego Prime in his human, or not human, but physical form, because he's usually a planet. This is him in dude form. And I love the blast that Thor is giving to Ego Prime here. And even just Hogan being caught up in his hair. That's cool in its own way, because it just seems so trivial, doesn't it? Like, it doesn't, not even worth thinking about. He's just in his hair, probably going to suffocate. But yeah, the white border that covers of this era had, which I've discussed already, I think, again, lends a certain quality to this cover that makes the image inside really, really stand out. I'll stand by my support for this design choice by Marvel. I'm not saying it always worked, but it often brought out something extra in these images. Yes, indeed. All right. So yeah, we're gonna go on to the next one on the list. This is number 2, baby. All right, and this is Mighty Thor 185. Look at this. This is in the to the right saying "See, worlds without end in the grip of infinity," and then the top left, "See, the power of the Silent One," and at the bottom, "See, the God of Thunder, alone and unarmed, trapped upon the world beyond." And then look at the image itself. Look at where Thor is, the Silent One, standing on this rock face here, and this grip that you see in the background. The image of the Silent One pointing, Thor being taken aback, and this world beyond that he is I would say, standing on or trying to stand on. Makes it such a beautiful scenery here. This is December of 1970. John Buscema, you know that he was involved in this, and Sam Granger. Hell yeah, man. I mean, I wanted this to be my number one. I really, really, really wanted this to be my number one. I almost, I held on to that for the longest time, but my real number one eventually edged it out. And this is Mighty Thor 188. This is in March of 1971. This is John Buscema and Joe Sinnott once again. And this is the end of Infinity. All right. And on this amazing, incredible cover, you see Thor in the foreground, again taken aback, wielding his hammer. But what really sells this for me is Odin on top of this small mountain, standing proudly, looking down upon those who are below him, and that means everybody basically. And you see Loki and Karnilla performing a ritual here at the bottom. They're trying to, it looks like they're trying to split a wishbone on Thanksgiving dinner. Yeah, but no, what they're doing, they're performing a ritual to try to separate what is infinity. And infinity is this almost spirit version of Odin, created by Hela, which you see actually floating above Odin. And look at that image. Look at the colors, not just of infinity, but surrounding infinity. Clearly looking like possessing Odin here. This, and on the mountain itself saying the end of infinity. The way that's shown there, that's beautiful stuff. The use of color in the background, they go all the way from reds and oranges, the yellow of infinity, down to purple, down below, different shades of purple, the green of the mountains, the green of the land, the colors of Thor, of Loki, of Karnilla. This is a perfect cover. This is more than a 5, damn it. How can it get better than this? One thing that I'll also say, the art on the inside of this issue is incredible. Some of the imagination necessary to pull off some of the imagery is just beyond me. Honestly, I've been sleeping, y'all. I've been asleep, all right? And I'm embarrassed to say that I didn't really realize. I never really was a huge Thor fan. So for me to go through issue by issue, cover by cover by cover by cover, month to month, and seeing almost no drop off, the level of quality across the board. I've never seen so many 5-star covers in my life. You better believe there's going to be a part 2 of this. All right, I'm not done. I'm not done by a long shot, man. This is the Pop Culture Cosmonaut, man. You better like, you better comment, you better subscribe. I'm just saying, man. Like, it's free. Click on it. What do you got to lose? Nothing. You got nothing to lose, baby. Hey, all right. And that's the truth. Ruth, yeah, but we keep it popping every time we drop something by we, I mean the royal me. That's right. So the Pop Culture Cosmonaut is gonna be back once again.